No, no. Hey everybody, we're here for a new episode of Five for Talking. It's the off season. I'm here with Caps, the captain of the show, and we saw a video online and decided we wanted to do our own version of it. So we're going to be tier listing the number one overall draft picks, the first overall picks from the year 2000 until now, minus Macklin Celebrini, because he hasn't even played a game. So we'll just jump right into this. I don't even think, we don't need to waste any more time doing that. And here's the list that we have. So we have categories: generational talent, hockey Hall of Fame contender, top line contributor, decent career. So that's just a guy who maybe didn't do that much, but managed to play a lot of games. Absolute bust, and then too soon. I don't know if we might just lay off using too soon. I think I might have a strategy here where we'll just put them where we think maybe they should go, or we'll put them in too soon for now and then decide later. Based on things that we've seen or how we feel. So we'll start off here. We have Connor Bedard. I think for now we should just put him in too soon, and we'll judge them later. I think that's probably the best way to go.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
we kind of have an idea of where it's going to go, but obviously, I to your point, yeah, it's too soon for him.
yeah. Okay, Sidney Crosby.
That's, I mean, is there really that much of a, generational talent?
I think there is a difference because a Hall of Famer, like you can make the Hall of Fame without being one of the greatest players of all time.
Yeah, it took a second for me to realize. That's why I just stopped saying what I was saying. But generational talent for sure. I mean, Hall
Um,
of Fame, for no questions asked.
some of these people are defensemen, so just like top line, just know the difference before
Top
you
pairing.
comment. Yeah. So Rasmus Dahlin.
I mean, I'm gonna go. I don't think hit his full potential just yet, but I think in my eyes, he's a top line, top pairing contributor.
I'm
Um,
gonna agree with you. I think he's one of the better defensemen in the league. Is he like in the upper echelon? Probably not. Not yet,
yeah,
at least.
yeah, I think he's just more of a victim of circumstance because I'm obvious reasons the team that he plays for is just
Yeah.
not
Uh,
where it needs to be for him to do what he does best,
yeah, I think should he have been on like a Nashville or something like that, his career would be completely different.
especially next year.
Um, this is your boy. 100% your boy, Rick DiPietro.
Um, I think it's a bust.
I think so too. I think it's hard to call him that because he did show that he could be
Yeah,
really good, but he just never passed that level,
no.
right? And then he took that huge contract and he sucked for the entirety of the contract.
Like like in the beginnings of that contract, it's just like it went south. Um, yeah, it wasn't like a 15-year contract or something like that,
Yeah,
but
it was mental, and
it was
they
crazy.
he's the reason that they changed the rules, and they traded Roberto Luongo for him. Not for him. They traded Roberto Luongo because they wanted to draft him.
Crazy. I mean, before that contract, he was playing well, but yeah, it just went south.
It tells you something, right? Because there's only two goalies in the last 23 years that have been 24 years technically that have been drafted in first overall. Like it's very rare. It's a very rare occurrence.
Carey
Anyways,
Price being the other one, right?
I don't know. I don't think Carey Price was first overall. Carey Price was like fourth, I think, or third. I can fact check that.
We'll take a look at that. Maybe I'll.
Well, what about Aaron Ekblad? The other one was
Um,
Fleury, by the way.
what was that?
It was Marc Andre Fleury
Oh yeah.
is the
Okay.
other
Okay.
one.
Okay. Okay. Ekblad. I think I'm
Yeah,
gonna
he was
let you
drafted
start
fifth.
that.
Sorry,
I
Price
think
was
I'm gonna.
fifth.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you start that one. I'm gonna let you.
I think injuries have slowed down what otherwise would have been a very promising career. I don't think he's been bad by any means. I think he's struggled at times. I do think what he brings to a team or what he could bring to a team, especially when he's healthy, I believe he's a top line contributor. Like he's a good, solid, strong first pairing defenseman.
Um, yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I mean, he won a cup last year. um, yeah, I think that's fair.
I think that's fair. Okay, your favorite goalie, Marc-Andre Fleury.
I think he's a Hall of Fame contender. Um, I don't know necessarily if he's a generational talent.
I this is and I will give you one thing to knock him off generational talent. Two of the Stanley Cups he won, he wasn't the starting goalie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was Matt Murray. But I still think on just raw ability, and you can't deny the stats that he has. He's definitely one of the better goalies of all time. Is he the best goalie of his generation? I don't know. I don't think so. I'd say
But
Carey Price was better.
but Pittsburgh won 3 cups, right?
Yeah,
And didn't he have the first run?
he
And then
had the
Matt Murray
first
had
run.
the other two?
The
Yeah.
other two, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. I think he's a contender, Hall of Fame contender.
I mean,
Uh
I think for sure he's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
oh,
Uh,
guaranteed. He's going to end
yeah.
up with some of the second most wins all time. I think he passed
There you go.
Patrick Waugh, right?
There you go.
So
There you go. So he's won cups and well,
yeah,
yeah, he's
there's
won.
no way you're going to deny he's one of the better goalies who ever played hockey. It's just do his overall statistics reflect the fact that he's played for a long time at a good level or that he was like the best goalie in the NHL for most of his career? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that first year when Vegas came through, he was a goalie, and he pretty much yeah, they went to the finals that year, which
He's still a good contributing goalie at like
yeah,
39 years old. So,
yeah.
Taylor Hall.
I'm going to say um it's either top line contributor or decent career. I know that the early days of Edmonton, he was looked upon as the guy, but it just never turned out to be that way. Um, and he's gone through different teams. He's contributed, but not necessarily at the top line. I mean, Boston, he was kind of shoved down to like the third line, second line. But the thing for me is the MVP year that he had with the Devils. He pretty much was the guy that year. So that's the part for me. It's either top line contributor or decent career. It's one of those for me, at least.
Okay, I'm gonna put him here. And I'm gonna explain my reasoning because you had some good points. I just think we never ever truly outside of that one season in New Jersey when he won the Hart and like all that stuff, we never saw him really live up to his potential. He can't stay healthy. Is he a good player? Is he a top line contributor on paper? Yes. But like, is his career considered like, does he belong in that third category? I don't think so.
Yeah, he's not able to sustain it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with this, man. I'm good with that.
Okay. Nico Heischer.
um, man, I think like he's. You know what? I'll let you handle that. I'm still gathering my thoughts on it because uh, he still has a lot to. He's only 25 years old, and at any point, he can kind of change his own trajectory in terms of where his career can go. Because as of right now, it's like a decent
I mean,
career, and
he's pretty solid.
yeah,
I would consider putting him as a top line contributor. I think he's kind of in the same place as Taylor Hall, where like he shows that he has the potential to be a top line contributor for the rest of his career, like a solid 70, 80 point guy. But he's never played a full season, I don't think. I'm pretty sure he has. No, he played one, I believe. Hold on. I'm opening the thing. His first season was the only time he played a full season.
Yeah. I mean, the last few seasons, he's played 70 games. He had one full season in 2022, 2023. I mean, that was the year that the Devils really took off. Last year, they kind of took a step back. And, you know, he still has a lot to give. So far, maybe, you know, decent career, but he should be he should be at the Hockey Hall of Fame contender status. Should be when this is all said and done. But it's still kind of
Yeah, it's
too
kind of
soon.
early, and based on what it is now, I would take that. Okay, Jack Hughes, I'll go first. I think in a much smaller sample size than Nico Hischier, he's been far better of a player. I genuinely think that there's Hall of Fame potential here. I mean, he's what? I think I'm opening the thing. Sorry. He's 23 and he's American. So like in the American all-time leaderboards, there's always a easy chance to like move up there. So I mean, I'm willing to do this, but like I would understand if you feel like he should be here.
I agree.
This or this?
No, a top line contributor for now. It's still early. Um,
Yeah, no, I'm not upset about that.
like this is the part where it kind of floats between top line contributor and too soon, but we know that he's going to have an amazing career. All he has to do is just stay healthy and still contribute.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with what you did right now. I think that's fair. Um, he's already made the All-Star game like twice. Like he is, um, dude, he could be like a generational talent if you really um, see what he's capable of in the next few years. Like he can take that next step. But yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so do you want to say judge him based on what he's done and then also what he could do and move him up? Or
No,
do you want to just
I like what you did right now. This is fair.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up we have I forgot who the hell this is. All right, moving along. It's Patrick Kane.
Ooh. Is there something in between decent career and absolute bust? Because you know when he turns it on, he is an elite scorer, but his attitude is somewhat gets in the way of his full potential. Um, and he's been to what three teams already? Maybe,
yeah.
yeah. And I mean that doesn't really say much, but I'm just saying it's just the way he leaves some of these teams. The circumstances are kind of Um, I don't know, man. That's tough. I maybe at the end of decent career. I don't know. This is a tough one. I'm gonna let you have this one, and you'll yeah. I won't argue with you on this one
You're
because
gonna let me have
this
this one
is
and you won't argue with me on
it,
this one?
it is a tough one. It is a tough one.
I'm going to say he's a guaranteed Hall of Famer.
Wait, I thought we were talking about Patrick. Oh my god. Oh my god! I
Are you
thought we
thinking
were
about
talking
Evander
about
Kane?
Patrick. Oh my god! I thought we were talking about Patrick Liney. Oh my god!
Wow, we're keeping that in. There's no cuts here. This is
Oh my
live.
god! Do I feel embarrassed right now? Um,
Oh, if this was Evander Kane, I'd put him an absolute bust.
And you were probably like sitting there, it's like, what the hell is this guy talking about?
No, I thought you were trying to make some kind of point out of it. So I was like, okay, I'll just let you have that.
No, I'm look at this. I'm sweating. My hands are all clammy. I'm like, I just embarrassed the hell of myself. Yeah, keep it in there. What the hell? Who cares? Um, yeah, Hall of Fame contender. Sorry. Yeah,
No, that's absolutely fair. Okay.
we're gonna keep this blooper in there. Yeah.
We're gonna keep it. It's like Don Cherry bloopers. Ilya Kovalchuk.
Um, I would say top line contributor, maybe at the top. Um, Hall of Fame contender at the end of the Hall of Fame contender, in between there for me.
Really? I'm kind of like, I think maybe he's decent career.
Wow. Um, I mean, he's he was a scoring machine for the Thrashers. He had that massive contract with the New Jersey Devils. I thought he was probably the biggest reason as to why they had the not necessarily Rick DiPietro, but more so Kovalchuk was more of the reason why they kind of changed things when it came to the cap and all that stuff. But yeah, I think I will go in the middle, maybe
Well, look,
top line
he only played
contributor.
in the NHL until he was 30 and then left and came back for 2 seasons. And in the last, I have this open, by the way, I'm actually looking at it. In the last 4 years that he played in the NHL prior to leaving and coming back, he had an 83-point season, but then also a 30-point season, another 30-point season, and a 60-point season. And he wasn't even 30 years old yet.
Oh,
So
okay.
to me, like that's why, right? Like, okay, I'm willing to do top line contributor. I don't think he'll make the Hall of Fame. But then by that logic, we automatically have to move Taylor Hall up because they're basically the same player.
Yeah, I just noticed that right now. I'm willing to knock down Ilya Kovalchuk. I think that's fair.
No, because like everything you said, by the way, was actual on point because that early chunk of his career there, when he went from Atlanta and then first went to the Devils, it was like huge. He was massive. You know what I mean? Kovalchuk. And then he just like fell apart, went to Russia, came back, sucked.
Did he go to
So
Montreal too? Did he play for Montreal?
yeah, he played 22 games in Montreal and got 13 points. In that one season, he played on 3 teams: the Kings, the Canadians, and the Capitals, and he got 26 points in 50 games.
Wow.
Anywho,
And it was not that long ago too.
Alexis Lafreniere.
Mm,
Okay, so I'll give you mine first because I know you don't want to do that right away. I think he's still so young and he's shown his ability to play on a team is fine. He just until this current season that just passed, he didn't have that goal scoring touch that he showed in juniors, but he's starting to show it a little bit. And like I said, he's still young. I believe he's only like 23.
mhm.
So it's not like, he has a chance, but there's no way in hell he's better than top line contributor.
You see, early on in his career, he wasn't playing that well, like you said, and then last year he had a pretty good year. I am willing to go too soon because it can go either way, and it's at this point it's kind of difficult. Like he would have to build upon what he did last year, and if he doesn't do that, then obviously he's going to fall under that absolute bust category. But I can't really say that because last year he had a good team, a good year, and if he can build upon that, if he has an even better year, then he moves into a different category, which is top line contributor. So for me right now, it's a little too soon. I don't know how you feel about that.
I'll leave him there for now, but at the end we're gonna negotiate all of these guys out of that box, I think. Okay, so Eric Johnson, I forgot. Well, I couldn't don't know how I forgot what his name was. He did win a cup, I believe on Colorado.
Yep.
And I mean, he's a solid defenseman, but he's nothing special. Certainly not good enough to have gone first overall.
Yeah, I would have to really agree with that. I mean, it's not
Like
like he's the standout player for his team. I mean,
that's where I would put him.
when you put him on Colorado, like Cal McCarr is their guy.
Yeah,
Um,
Eric Johnson is a solid fourth defenseman.
yeah.
So like that's where I would keep him because I do think like even with these guys and by the end of their careers, I think Heischer is probably going to be better than both of them.
Mhm.
But I think that's fine. I mean, Nathan McKinnon, I would say he's a generational talent. I think other than Connor McDavid and maybe Nikita Kucherov, he's been the best player of the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And they're from the same place.
And he's just getting better and better,
Isn't
which is
it
great.
weird that two of the best players of all time are from the same town?
How did you know that?
Oh, Tim
Who
Hortons.
I sent a pic out the other day or a few days ago.
I definitely didn't know that from you. That was a good picture though. That's funny. It's like home of Sidney Crosby, and then also has another thing underneath, and Stanley Cup winning player Nathan McKinnon.
I just laughed, but yeah.
All right, Auston Matthews. I'll take it first because I know you don't want to talk about the Leafs. I'm hesitant to put him in generational talent, even though I think other than Alex Ovechkin, best, the next best goal scorer, even remotely close in that category, is Auston Matthews. He might not be overall a generational talent, but his goal scoring ability is. He's definitely a Hall of Fame contender. I would argue that just in what he's done already in his career, Auston Matthews probably is making the Hall of Fame. Like
Yeah,
if he slacked off for the rest of his career, he's already making the Hall of Fame.
in order for him to put him into that generational talent category, he needs to win a cup.
That's
That's the
fair,
only
especially
thing.
if he wins on the Leafs.
Yeah, that's the only thing for me that just, you know, hockey Hall of Fame contender for me is fair.
Yeah, that's fair. I think so too. All right. Well, now we gotta go with this slacker, Connor McDavid. I mean, we're not even gonna talk about it. We'll just put him up here. I
Now
think.
I got to be careful because I just made an argument about Austin Matthews and not winning a cup just yet.
But I
Um,
think statistically,
yeah,
yeah, skill wise,
he was he was close. He was close this year.
hey, Matthews
Um,
never even made it anywhere near there,
yeah,
right? Rick Nash,
he was a superstar on the Thrashers, and I think he had maybe a couple
Columbus.
good years on Boston. But when you look at one of the best goals of all time, he's always on that highlight reel. Um, um, but when you take all that and what he's done, um, maybe I would say top line contributor.
I'm gonna
Um,
agree with you, top line contributor,
but
because
he's
I
gonna.
think
I think he will at some point. He make the Hall of Fame.
he was always. Yeah, I agree with that. I think this category should be like not even contender. It should be Hall of Fame lock, right?
Lock.
Because
Like
I think these guys are guaranteed Hall of Fame. These guys are not. Rick Nash had a really solid career on any team in the league. He would have been a top liner, and I think that's fair, right? He didn't have always the best season, but he was pretty steady. Whereas like these two guys have fluctuated so much up and down with what they're capable of doing. Like Taylor Hall is not even going to be on the first line next year for Chicago. The way that they're
no,
projecting the lines,
no,
they
I
put
wouldn't.
to
I wouldn't
Foley.
think so.
Okay, Nugent Hopkins. It's a tough one for me because I think in the grand scheme of his career, he's not a top line contributor. But I do think he had two good seasons back to back in his 30s.
On the top line.
Yeah. but
Um,
but playing because of Connor McDavid. When he wasn't playing with Connor McDavid, he was never that good of a player.
yeah, I thought it had more to do with Zach Hyman, but anyway, just kidding.
Zach Hyman. Wow, that's too soon.
Um, yeah, I mean, he's had a decent career, and um, I wouldn't. I mean, he is, contributing a lot because of who his line mates are.
Yeah.
But
Look,
yeah,
I'll give you the breakdown here. Okay. So in 2022, he got 50 points. In 2023, he got 100 points. In 2024, he got 67 points. So it's like, as much as you want to look at him and be like, wow, that he's that good. And I don't know, is he? Because he couldn't sustain that. Once they removed him from the pairing with McDavid, he was not even half as good.
yeah, there's a lot of inconsistencies there.
I would say decent career, and I would say he's there because he's not as good as Kovalchuk or Hall, and I think Nico Hischier is going to be a lot better than him.
Okay.
Like I'm debating that we might have to move up all three of these guys by the end of this, but we'll just hold on to that. Ovechkin, too soon.
Yeah, he's a generational talent, and
You can't. It's non-negotiable.
it's just like, once he breaks Gretzky's all-time goal record, it's just, you can't. He's won a cup. Like he's done what he's needed to do to become a
Yep.
generational talent.
And he's just probably the most talented goal scorer we've ever seen, not named Mike Bossy. Okay. Owen Power, I think it's too soon. I don't think
Yeah,
we were gonna talk. We'll save those for the end. Slakowski, also too soon.
too
Save that
soon.
for the end. Neil Yakupov, he's a bust. I don't even want to talk about that. He's the worst player of the last 20 years.
Yep.
Considering where he got drafted and what he did, he's literally the worst player of the last 20 years.
You have, like I said before we started this video, like you've had GMs, more specifically Brian Burke, come on and said he's got the worst attitude, and uh, you know, it's like one of those things where kind of got in the way of him getting drafted. Um, yeah, I mean, it just didn't work out for him.
I think that's fair. Um, Steven Stamkos.
Steven Stamkos for me is a hockey Hall of Fame.
I think
Wow.
so too. The cups, the finals appearances, being the captain.
Oh, you're putting him generational talent?
Sorry, my bad. I would say, I don't know if ahead of Patrick Kane, but I might have to do this.
I agree with that. I mean,
I
Stamkos has pulled his weight. He's had some injuries along his career, but he was able to stay healthy enough to win two Stanley Cups with the Tampa Bay Lightning and put up a lot of goals in that time frame. So for me, it's a lock. Yeah,
and he dealt with a lot of injuries too.
yeah.
The fact that he's still doing what he did, doing what he's doing, and had the career that he had, considering all of that. And he's a lock for the Hall of Fame, guaranteed. So Jonathan Tavares.
Sorry, before you get to Jonathan Tavares, I mean, look at this free agency that just happened right now. He was one of the most sought after free agents in the all of free agency, and it
And
was huge news when he went to
he's a
Nashville.
perfect fit, a perfect fit for
Yeah.
Nashville.
So
Like the experience, the leadership, the goal scoring ability, the power play usage. Like he's exactly what they needed on that team.
yeah, he's going to be on the top line.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see Nashville. I'd love to see them win a cup. I mean, because we all know the Leafs are not going to make it. So, John Tavares, I think I would say he's at the top of top line contributor, and I'll tell you why.
I think
because
he'll make the Hall of Fame, but
I
for
think so
me, I
too.
would
But I
have to
think
agree with you. He is a top line contributor.
it's not that his career statistics are not bad or what he does, but everything that we just said about Stamkos, he's one step below that in every category.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like a great career. I don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think he probably goes like 3 years of being on the ballot before they're like, okay, fine, John Tavares. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So I don't think he's not a guaranteed lock, but he probably will make it.
Yep.
Um, the thing is too in the hockey world we live in now, where it's like okay, in the '80s you had your guys like Kevin Stevens and like those guys that they randomly had like really good seasons. Bernie Nichols, they went on like 5 year tears where they got like 90 points, but then never couldn't keep that up. Nowadays, hockey players are much more like Tavares. The upper echelon of players is like, yes, we'll get 80 points every year for 12 years, and we're all going to get 1,100 points at the end of our career. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, is he really that good, or is he just one of the better players of his time? Yeah, and I would go with that. He's a top line contributor. There's an argument you could be made for this list that you can move up Kovalchuk and Hall, but I'm not going to.
I'm fine with that.
I would like. I think all three of these guys could move up if I'm being truthfully honest, because they all were like top line. You know what? We should just do it. Forget it. I think this makes more sense to me because like you put any of these guys in their peak in on a top line, they're contributing, and he's still playing, so we don't know how far he's going to go points wise. He
Yeah.
definitely is a solid center.
It's just when I look at the overall career, I just see inconsistencies. But
That's fair. So should we keep them down? I'll keep it down.
yeah, hey, it's all good.
Let's go with this. Okay.
All good.
If I had to put him somewhere for like guessing for the end of his career, I would guess top line contributor.
Okay.
If I had to guess somewhere for Connor Bedard's career, I would say somewhere either here or here. Like we
And
don't know yet for sure.
that's why we don't know yet. Yeah.
Owen Power will probably be a solid top line contributing defenseman. And Slafkovsky, I at this point, the way he looks, I would say decent career. I don't know if he's even going to be a top line contributor in like the 2 seasons that we've seen him play.
Too
But
early.
realistically, I think we just keep them down here, and that's what it is. Thank you guys for watching. Let us know your list. Do you have anything you want to say before I let them go? All right, guys.
No.
Thank you for watching, and you all have a good week and weekend.